My husband had a multiple-year-long affair, and the lawyer told me I would lose everything if I divorced him. So I spent years perfecting my pay pack. My revenge began by discovering my husband Dave's infidelity. After 14 years of marriage and 3 kids, I saw a text appear on his work phone for just a few seconds that would forever change my life. It was a message that was actually graphic and had no business being on anyone's work phone. It was on the lock screen in the sender's name. I just froze. My first thoughts were, what the hell was that about? It's his work phone. That kind of message gets people fired. Then it hit me, was Dave having an affair? It's amazing how the brain works. I suddenly started remembering a lot of things Dave had done that seemed odd, but I'd either dismissed them myself or immediately accepted his explanation. He was always walking out of the room to answer a call or return a text and claimed that it would violate HIPAA. He was a nurse if I overheard him talking about a patient. I accepted this because education has similar privacy laws regarding students. I'm a district school admin. He would sometimes come home with a faint smell of perfume on his clothes and claimed it was from helping to move female patients again. I accepted this at face value, but it always struck me as odd how it seemed to have the same scent of perfume once the proverbial barn door was open. I started seeing a lot of things that I'd missed before our love life in the bedroom had cooled off considerably, which wasn't helped by him having to leave the house at odd hours to fill in for other nurses that called in sick. I also recalled where I'd seen the name Paula before, and a call to the hospital confirmed she was a doctor there for the next week or so. I was walking around in daze trying to put all of the pieces together. One of our kids had left a book in Dave's car, so it was an excuse to visit the hospital. My kid went up to get Dave's car key. I talked to a nurse in the lobby and joked about how work phones seem like a blessing. But all they do is put you on call 24 hours a day, this LED, to her eventually telling me that the hospital was too cheap to give cell phones to nurses, so only high-level executives got them, which didn't include Dave, with pretty much everything confirmed. I took some personal time off the next day to talk to a divorce lawyer. The news she gave me was horrible. We lived in a community property state with no-fault divorce. I made more money than Dave. He'd been the primary caretaker of the kids. And we've been married for more than 10 years, basically. If I filed for divorce, I'd be screwed, lose the house, pay alimony. He'd get a huge chunk of my retirement, and I'd pay child support for the next decade, unless I was lucky enough to be awarded joint custody. The worst thing she told me was that it didn't matter that he cheated. It didn't matter. I was crushed. There was only one person I could trust with this kind of information. She was a fellow teacher that had also made the jump to administration, but was stuck at a school site. You can now check if there was a part 2 by pressing Sharon Moore.